Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you today? I'm just going to do a little bit of diamond painting. This is just a small Santa one. And when I'm doing a small painting, I just keep things in my yarn bowl. And I'm not going to keep these when they're done. I just close them with a paper clip, and this won't take long. So let's work on the number 4. I'm going to do the Santas and put them, I got 2, one white, one red, and I'm going to put them on my front door, I guess. I mean, they're not my favorites, they're partials, but they're cute, the Santas. Let's get you a little bit, let me see here, number 4, is right, can you see that, right about there? Let's just chat a little bit. Now, it's getting to be the middle of October. How is everybody doing for Christmas? Getting things planned out? Are you an early planner or are you a last minute person? I've always been last minute. In the past couple years, I've been planning, so it's nicer because it takes that stress off. Now, my one family member is getting quite a bit of homemade things that I've been crocheting, and actually a few family members are getting some homemade gifts. I do have a 16-year-old grandson now. What do you get for a 16-year-old boy? I mean, the older they get, their interests just get more and more expensive. I mean, he's not going to want anything crocheted from Grandma. So I'll get him one little thing, but I guess it's the love and the thought that counts. He's into gaming. He loves his gaming. So, oh, my son, my 25-year-old son, finally came to see me yesterday. I've been living here 2.5 years. It's the first time he's seen my place. So, of course, he came to town because he needs his birth certificate, social security card, and all that, because he lost everything. So he didn't come to see me because he wanted to visit Mom. He came because he needed something, and that's the way. But he's always good to me when I go up there and everything. And he does work 6-7 days a week, painting houses. And now that winter's going to be here, I don't know what he's going to be doing, but it was good to see him. And yes, Pikachu. Yes, Pikachu. Shush, shush, shush now. So, you know, you go to the city hall to get your birth certificate, and they want ID. So, because he doesn't have ID, he's trying to get ID, and it's just a vicious circle. Then he goes to the registry, and they want his birth certificate. It's like, you're supposed to get one without the other. So, I wrote a note and gave him my ID, and that was enough to get him his birth certificate. And I called down there. I mean, everybody from the past, let me see, 3 towns surrounding us is all born at the same small hospital. So, he got his birth certificate. Social Security office will not give him his card with just that. They want photo ID. Pikachu. I know he sings lovely, but good gosh. So, Yeah, I don't know what my son's gonna do. I mean, you can't get one without the other, and vice versa. It's been a pain, so I don't know. What's this? Can you see my hair? Well, I don't know if we're gonna be able to have a chat today, because Pikachu just wants to put in his 2 cents. And he does sing lovely, but I told you all those eggs were not viable. She's still sitting on her nest. I do believe she'll lay another 1 or 2 clutches. We'll see, but she won't get off her nest, even though there's nothing in it. So he likes to fly around the room, and I usually let him. But ever since she's been on her nest, if I let him out, she gets very upset. She just sits there and cries for him. So I don't like to let him out because it makes her upset. Damn it. So I've been, I'm just going to put this out more so you can see. Is that the other way? Did I go the wrong way? Nope. So, yeah, that's what's going on in our lives. Oh, good Lord in heaven, this diamond painting's not really big enough for me to... I might work on the elephant, the one that's beneath it. I haven't worked on the elephant for a while. So I don't know what my son's going to do. I mean, he's trying. Alright, I'm going to... Set a 4. I'm going to put this away and work on the elephant. Let's do that. That way I'll have more room to work on here. Okay. Kidoki, back to the elephant here. Anyway, as I was saying, my son is trying to get his life back in order because he did hit some rough patches there when he was about 22, 23. And I put a little piece of wax in there so that I can shake it without them coming out the end. So I'm trying to be supportive, and I did help him get totally on his feet when he first started out, but that did not end nice. So I don't have the money to do it again. At that time, I had just gotten out of a divorce, and we were moving. We had already lived in one apartment for a few years, and just my son and I and my granddaughter, and we were moving to a different place. And I told my son, well, if you totally clean out this entire apartment, sweep, mop, scrub the bathroom, everything, I'll give you the deposit that I get back. And he did, and I gave him, it was, I think, $1,200. So, and I gave him my car after that, too, because I didn't need it anymore. And, you know, he made some mistakes, and he lost everything, and now he's responsible, and I just can't help him again this time. I just don't have it. So he's trying and struggling, but he'll get there. We've all been there, right? But he's learned from his lesson, and if he ever gets, he will. He'll get back on his feet again, and he won't mess it up again this time, I tell you that much. So, but he's a good boy. I love him so much. And he brought the baby with him, my little 3-year-old granddaughter. And she just ran to me, little arms up, big smile on her face. No feeling better than that. A little baby running to you with their arms open. Such a little doll. So I was on Amazon last night trying to pick out some presents. The older people are getting handmade items, but the kids, they might get a hat or something, but I also want to get them one little toy each. So I was looking under like fun but educational toys for the little ones. I got her, it's a push ice cream cart, but it's also got numbers and counting colors and all that. So that wasn't too bad. I think it was $30 or $29. And for my grandson, he's 4. I got him with little dinosaur eggs. It comes like a what is it called? Archaeologist like kit. You know, and it comes with cards and all the different names of the dinosaurs listed and all the information about them. But then you get to take the little hammer and, you know, take out the dinosaurs. And he'll have fun with that. Last year, I think I got them books. My 15-year-old, for the past couple years, I've been getting him a book. He loves like the Ripley's, believe it or not. They got a big edition every year. Those kinds of books are, of course, in their family, every Christmas Eve, they each get one book and one new pair of pajamas. And they take turns reading their books. It's funny because Abigail, she's 9 now. She always reads her book in some kind of accent, like an English accent or something. It's just funny. And they all sleep in the living room with the tree lit next to them. They're a good family. So cute. So, they'll be doing that. Let me see. Who else do I get to buy for? That's about it. My grown son, I usually get him socks and underwear, maybe a pair of jeans, because there's no 25-year-old that I know who's going to spend his hard-earned cash on socks and underpants. And he needs them, so, you know, they always need those at the end of the year, little things that people don't buy for themselves. And I usually get him a stocking with new toothbrush, toothpaste, razors, things like that. Maybe throw some candy in there. So, what else did I want to get him? Maybe a funny sweatshirt or a t-shirt or something. My daughter, I'm still trying to figure out the table runner for her nice new table. I've started and frogged so many different ones, different yarns, different patterns. I kind of want to do the star stitch, but I think I need a thinner yarn to make it just more like lacy looking, you know. I want it to be perfect, and I've not been happy so far with what I'm doing. Oh, come on, this is really sticky. They're not pushing over for me. Of course, if I put them down in the right spot to begin with, I wouldn't have to push them over. So, how are you guys doing for Christmas? Do you celebrate? Do you stay home? Do you go with family? My daughter goes to her in-laws because they live further away, so they don't see them very often. So they go there, but my daughter's having a holiday dinner for all of us. We'll all meet together at her house to celebrate in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So, I think we did that 2 years ago. Last year I was downstairs at my neighbor's. She cooks a big meal for the whole building. Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. She loves to cook. I've been trying different things with my crocheting, and I really want to get back to knitting also. I really enjoy knitting. I'm thinking of I want to make a scootie, which is a combination hood and a scarf, and I've been looking up patterns, and I don't know if I'm talented enough to really pull it off. what I'm thinking is making an infinity scarf, but making it really, really wide so you can bring it up over the back of your head and kind of use it as a hood. So I'm thinking that I might make one of those. And I did order some self-striping yarn from Bernay. I think it's Bernay, I'm not sure, but it's self-striping yarn. So I won't have to have a bunch of ends to weave in, and it will be a nice pretty color just to kind of gradually go along. Now, when you crochet, you don't have to worry about changing colors and having it be a wrong side or a right side per se. With knitting, there's definitely a right and a wrong side, and it shows. You have that little line. So if I get the self-striping, but it goes really like gradually but kind of quickly, and not like all yellow, then all orange, then all blue, whatever, just kind of gradually in small amounts changes, it will look good knitting. Now, some people don't mind that line. I don't like it. So I actually have forgotten about that before, and I've tried to make something with a knit, and then I realized that line is there, and it's obvious, and I don't like it, so I frog it, I make it crochet instead. But I'm missing my knitting needles. Now I can do garter, purl, increase, decrease. So those are the basic things you need to know to follow just about any pattern. But I'm not real fast at the purling, so I like to knit in the round. So if I make an infinity scarf on my circular knitting needles, you can just go, and it automatically makes a beautiful stockinette stitch. You don't have to worry about purling. You just keep on knitting, and it makes the knit purl pattern for you, and makes the stockinette stitch just for you. That's why I love my circulars. I don't have to worry about switching or remembering to purl. So I'm going to do that. I actually can't wait to get started on that. And also with the circulars, if you put your needle down for a second, it's not going to slide in between that space between the chair and the side of the chair, you know what I mean? If I had a dime every time I dropped my crochet hook or one of my straight needles down, that, and I can hear it right down the side of the chair, and click clink, because I have a recliner, so it's got the metal underneath it, and I'm like, oh man, get up out of the chair, get down on my hands and knees, get the flashlight, reach around down there. Then to get this old lady's big butt back up again, that's just a circus act in itself. It was funny because I watched the movie Snowden the other day. Now, I keep seeing it come up on my TV, and I never watched it. Like political or government stuff, and like computer stuff, and my brain's going to explode. It sounds boring to me. I don't want to watch it, but I finally watched it, and oh my goodness, was it good. Now, if you don't know, which you probably all do, I'm probably the last one to realize this, but Edward Snowden was a man who, he didn't even graduate high school. He had to quit to support his family, but he had one of the highest, genius, beyond genius level IQs, especially when it came to computers and things. And he had initially joined the army, but he broke his legs once. He was a very small man in stature, and he kept getting these small little, hairline fractures in his legs, but he kept going. They make you wear these big 80-pound packs and everything, and he kept getting these little fractures in his legs, and he jumped down from his top bunk once, and both his legs just buckled under him, and they were both fractured. So he could not be in the army, but he wanted to serve his country really bad. So he went to join the CIA, or the FBI, or one of those, and they said, well, you don't have much of a history. We're not too impressed with you, but we'll let you take the test. And the test was usually 5 hours long, and he did it in 38 minutes, and he aced it. So that's how smart he is. Still is. So anyway, he got to work in the highest, the most secretive things the government is doing, and one of them is to, I'm not going to explain this right, but program in like bugs and other people's, spy on different countries, like go in there and just, they put something in their software so that we could take down the entire country with a push of a button if we ever had to. Like, they were our friends now, but if, and that's how we got into their countries, but if something ever happened where they were planning on taking us out, we could just boom and shut down all their power. And we all know that without power, there's no computers, and it would pretty much bring that country to their knees. So basically, that's what the government was up to. But then, which is all well and fine, as long as we don't do it just for the heck of it. I mean, we were trying to protect our country and keep things in line just in case. Well, then the government, he realized the government's also just spying on the regular person. The phone calls, the computers, the emails, everything that the average American was doing, they were spying on. If you left your computer, your laptop open, they could just turn on your webcam and just watch what you're doing. And he thought, no, this isn't right. These are American people. The average American doesn't deserve to be spied on like this. Now, I mean, nowadays, of course, we all know this is common knowledge. But back then, nobody knew it. So he's the one that blew the lid off all that. And because he blew the lid off of all that, he had to actually